So this is the videos on how to upload receipts or bills onto Xero accounting software through Hubdoc. Now with Hubdoc, it's a very good software because what you can do is that you can take the photos of receipts or bills and the software will upload it and automatically pick out the numbers as well as details of like invoices and dates and things like that, and automatically generate an entry that you can publish onto Xero. So what it means is that you can create an entry in Xero a lot faster and more efficiently. So first of all, you need to have Hubdoc set up and having a login already created. So with this video, I'm going to show you how we can upload the receipts or bills in two different ways. The first way is, which is really good, is that you can do it by using your smartphones. Okay, you have to have Hubdoc apps installed onto your phones. Okay, so go into Hubdoc. Okay, and then before we do that, what you need to do is take the photos of the receipt. Okay, to make sure that it's very focused, so that the you can read the numbers on the bill clearly. So once you've taken the photos of the receipts, you can log into Hubdoc apps on your phones. If you have a look, okay, on the top right corner, you see that little menu tab there. Once you press on that, you will see this menu entries, and you can click choose the photos, and you can pick the photos that you just took off the receipt, and that will automatically upload that onto your Hubdoc. So have a look here. That's the receipt that I just upload onto Hubdoc. The other ways of uploading the receipts into Hubdoc is to press up here, so upload documents, and then you can go and double click on it. Oh, sorry, yeah, double clicks on it. Oh, browse, my bad. And pick the file out from the your computer. So in this case, I'm gonna pick cosmetic packages and then upload that. Now, if you're trying to upload receipts from your computer, it's a very efficient way because you can select the whole files from a particular folder, for example. Whereas if you're using the phone to take the photos, you have to do it one by one. Now that's the receipt has been uploaded, now you can work on them. If you see this triangle sign, it just means that there's something that needs to be reviewed. So let's go look at the first receipt. Let's have a look at this one. You click on it, which is Woolworth. So you'll see the receipt that we just took came up like that. If you have a look on the right side, or if you didn't see this, you'll find that this has been minimized to the corner here. So you usually see something around here that you can click, and you find that this tab will open up to show all these details here. So with the document type, always, not always, you can pick what it was. Okay, it doesn't really matter. So you can say this one is a receipt, or it could be an invoice. Okay, it usually picked out the suppliers for you, which is Woolworth in this case. It'll pick out invoice number and the date. Now, keep in mind that if these things are incorrect, it doesn't really matter. Now you can keep working downwards. Okay, so the amount is $25.45, which is correct here. What's very smart about this software is that it automatically picked out how much is the GST as well. So in this case, if you have a look at the bottom somewhere, they said total include GST of 30 cents. So the tax amount is written here. And then the software automatically split the line for you so that when it goes into Xero, it will split the GST free component as well as GST on expense component for you. So if you have a look here, you just need to press generate lines item. And if you have a look here, you'll see that it's split into two lines for you, and generally they are correct. The one thing that you need to make sure they're correct is the categories. It's under the right account. And then you can save on that. Now, so if you have a look further down, okay, so this has already been generated. With the paid and unpaid status, you just leave that. You don't have to do anything to it. What we're trying to do is publish them onto Xero. So you always want to click on Save Configurations, because if this is something that you do quite often, over time, this software will learn how do you want to enter the data here. So for example, with Woolworth, we've done these receipts before. So it will pick it out that it should be published as purchased. Now keep in mind, to do invoices, statements, or receipts or anything like that, this should always be purchased, not spend money, not invoice, not credit notes, always purchase. Okay. And with the status, I would pick waiting for approval. That way that I can have a look at it in Xero and then approve it. Once we're doing this pretty well and I find out that, okay, we always put in the correct entry, we can be even more efficient, that you can bypass my approval by going to waiting for payment. And that way I don't even have to look at it. If I trust that the entry was done correctly, it will just go straight to Xero and I don't have to worry about it, and that will become even more efficient. Now with the contact, okay, it basically describes who the supplier is. In this case, it's Woolworth. Normally, I don't care so much about supermarkets and things like that, like supermarkets, Bunnings, Kmart. I just put them all as unknown because I can't be bothered specifying them. Keep in mind that if it's the dental supplies that we tend to use a lot, I do want to specify them. And usually you see that in the drop-down menu already. For example, if we're going for Ace Medical Waste, you can just click Ace and you'll see that it was starting to come up if the suppliers has been used in the past. Other example will be Officeworks. You can go OFF and then you're starting to see Officeworks. Okay, so these are the contacts that this receipt is relevant to. The reason why we want to classify them appropriately, because in the future, if we can need to come back and search the whole data about all our orders and receipts or any purchases that we made with Officeworks, it's easier to track back later on. Whereas Woolworth, Coles and things like that, it's quite lumped together. So we put that as unknown. Now with the line items, usually it's a single line, okay? Whereas in this case, it's multiple lines created because some items are GST free and some of them are GST inclusive. Now, you don't have to do anything here because just before, the software already split both the GST on expense and GST free expense item for you. And when you press on that, it generates these two lines for you. So right now, you can go and publish it. And then you say that that's published. So that means it's already been pushed through in Xero, okay? So if you're going into Xero now, I'm gonna have a look here. This is my dashboard in Xero. So when I refresh that and I have a look at bills and look at waiting approval, you will see that the unknown shows up right there. And that's the bill that we just upload onto Hubdoc. There you go. So that's how it works. Now, so that's the first example. That's all done. So let's have a look at the next one. So this is the receipt that we upload from the computer. Again, it will have the triangle symbol because it needs to be reviewed. If you have a look at the tabs on the top, okay, this saying it's all, but you'll see that this one will fall under review. So what happened is that this software will pick up the receipts or invoices, and then it was starting to push through the process. And once that's done, it will be archived at the back, just like Woolworth that we just put through before. So let's go back to the review. You can stay in the review or you can just pick all, because you will see that the same way. Now have a look here. Now it's cosmetic packaging services. The document type is still tax invoice. Okay, tax invoice. Now keep in mind the details here. and publish as, they're not the same. This invoice is actually our sales invoice, not the invoice of our suppliers. So keep in mind that even though we're seeing that's invoice, yes, the document type that we type in at the top in details will be called invoice. Supplier is cosmetic packaging resources. I'm not sure where they picked that from, because I would say that it would be packaging services, but nonetheless, it doesn't really matter. It picked out the total amount, that is $88, and that's correct, GST on expense, because it specified that GST is also $8. So this is all correct. Now, it's a time to publish to Xero. So at the bottom, we're going to click Save Configurations again. Now, keep in mind the publish as, remember that it's always purchased for any invoices, receipts, or statements. The status, we're going to put it as waiting for approval as well. The contact, we're going to write cosmetic packaging service, okay? Because we anticipate that potentially in the future, we may be using these suppliers again. Now, with customers, you can ignore this. We don't have to put anything in. We put this as a single line items, and this, it's a hand sanitizer. So we consider that a medical and dental supplies. In the description, you can just write it down so it's easy for us to recognize what it is, because keep in mind that we may be buying different things from the same suppliers. So in this case, I can just write hand sanitizer. You don't need to list everything in the whole invoice, because if you have a lot of different dental supplies bought under the same receipt, you can just say dental supplies. Now that is all correct. We're going to press publish. So usually I find that I have to press that publish button twice. Now that it's published, okay. One thing that I found is that if you press publish and there's some kind of problem, it usually say here in the status whether it's invalid, there's a problem while publishing or something like that. And usually that creates a lot of headaches because to trying to fix it and trying to publish it. So always try to put it correctly the first time and publish it once. Now let's go and have a look at Xero again. So I'm going to refresh my dashboard. There you go. So cosmetic packaging services, that's the bill that we just pushed through, and it comes up again correctly, just like how we wanted to. So I know that these two are correct. So usually what I do from my end, okay, is to check that this has all been entered correctly and then press the approve button here. So that's how we create the entry to put through Xero. Again, once that's all done, you find that all the receipt that has been managed will have that tick there. It means that it's been reviewed and it's been archived. So that's how you put the receipts through Hubdoc to create the Xero entry.